Is LeBron James going to retire? Is that happening? James Sharman, he's gone.
Man, he knows how to play the media, doesn't he? Better than any. Even when his initial move to South Beach, he knows how to play the media, and he's doing it again, isn't he?
He's not going anywhere. I have some theories about this, but let's bring in our main man, Justin Pooni, who's not in studio today. It's a load management day, a la James Sharman. I mean, these guys, they love their load management. How you doing, Justin?
Doing well. I'm working, unlike James.
Yeah. You guys always say you're at home.
I'm always working.
Watching.
Do you think that Friday show just appears out of nowhere? Is that what you think?
Exactly.
These guys are load management. Okay, let's talk about that LeBron James clip. I don't think he's actually retiring, but based on what he said, does that lead you to believe that he is, or is he, leveraging for maybe a new contract? I don't know. What's your take on this whole LeBron James situation?
At first, I'm like, I've never really heard LeBron, mention anything about retirement, wanting to come back. We've heard about the foot injury. He's probably might need surgery on it. We'll see what the outcome is after the couple days following the Lakers sweep. But I've never heard LeBron talk about retirement ever. He's always been so Teflon, and he's always been so consistent. But then I started thinking, okay, well, at the end of this is his last year in his Lakers contract. And you look at the track record of LeBron James. Whenever he's in the last year of a deal and there's a major crossroads of his career coming up, you started hearing these leaks in the media. Remember, it was, he's going to go to the Knicks before he went to Miami or Chicago. And then in Miami, don't sleep on him going back to Cleveland where he eventually went. And then, of course, when he left Cleveland, it was like, it's a foregone conclusion he's going to go to the Lakers and stuff like that. So we always see these little tidbits and these little teases by LeBron when he's reaching the end of a contract and he's looking for the next chapter or next challenge of his career. So I think LeBron's kind of holding the Lakers' feet to the fire. Does that mean they go out and get Kyrie Irving? Potentially, but they're going to have to give up on a guy like Austin Reeves and a guy like Rui Hachimura, who both played very well in these playoff stretches. So I think it's more so LeBron doing what he does best and holding teams accountable to make sure they put the best roster in place so he can, win another title.
Yeah.
All right. He's 38, right? And he's played 6,500 minutes of basketball, right? I guarantee you, fellas, and you won't understand this. I know you won't, but I guarantee you that he dreads waking up in the morning. I guarantee it, because everything hurts, right? You hit a certain age and things start falling apart, right? And listen, I'm not comparing myself to an elite athlete,
but you are.
Clearly, but I am kind of.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a lot older than LeBron, but there comes a point when things start hurting.
Yeah.
And it's like, what am I doing this for, right? Is there a chance he takes a year off, maybe? Does that? He's so busy. He's involved in so many things. Taking a year off, let the body rest a little bit, come back for a couple of years into his early 40s. Is that possible?
I don't think LeBron will do that because if he retires, he still has another year in his Lakers deal, right? So he can't just retire and then his contract magically disappears. He still has to honor that 1 year left on his deal. Now, what we do know for certain is he wants to play with or against his son. And his son just signed by USC. He's probably going to do the one and done route. So I think it all kind of lines up to next summer, LeBron deciding, well, okay, if the Lakers aren't a championship contender, then do I just go to wherever my son gets drafted? Do I go somewhere else? I think LeBron wants to stay in LA for reasons off the basketball court. I don't see him, like you mentioned, the guy is involved in everything, movies, he's got a new TV show coming out, right? He's got obviously all these sponsorships, all these other business opportunities. I think he will honor his contract. That's something LeBron's always done. He's never requested a trade. He's never forced his way out of a situation. He's always honored his contracts and then gone when he's a free agent. I don't see LeBron changing that now. I see him either he retires for good, and I see him just never coming back, or he sticks it out and he plays, plays through this deal and then figures out the next thing. He's not going to pull an Aaron Rodgers or a Brett Favre where every year it's going to drag on, or Tom Brady.
He's got one more year on his contract, $46.7 million. Player option worth $50.4 million. He's not going to give that up. I'm with you, though. I think the theory of him maybe taking maybe a half a season off or a season, a la Michael Jordan, coming back and killing it to rehab. But he was also asked, he goes, in the offseason, this is the perfect time right now to rehab and get better and come back. He nodded. He goes, yes. And because he believes that he's better than 90%, even 95% of the NBA.
Which he is.
And he still wants to play. I think him wanting to play with his son is still huge. I mean, think about what he did last night, right, Justin? I mean, 31 points in the first half. He played every single minute of the game, drops 40 points in the game. It's just a supporting cast with the Los Angeles Lakers. So I have to ask you this. Moving forward, Let's just say LeBron James does stay, which I think we actually all believe. What happens with the rest of this Lakers team?
I would look and pick up calls and see what you can get for Anthony Davis. What we saw last night from Anthony Davis was what it's been a tell-all tale of his career, pretty much with the Lakers. A guy that simply does not have the motor or the mentality to be a lead guy on a championship team. The fact that LeBron James, who is 38 years old, guys. I know he's not in James Sharman territory, but 38 in basketball terms is pretty up there, right? Year 20 on a bum foot, and he's showing more aggression and intensity and attacking the basket than a 28-year-old Anthony Davis, who's supposed to be in the prime of his career. Now, look, Anthony Davis had great moments in this playoff run, but this is an elimination game at home, and you don't show up, you don't have any aggression on the court. I would look for other options for Anthony Davis. I would try to keep a guy like Austin Reeves and see if you can bring us another star in with LeBron. And you got to get rid of D'Angelo Russell. That was, again, a notion. We got benched. You got to tweak some finer things out there. And that's what they did midseason that propelled them to the Western Conference Finals. Guys, this was a team that was 2-10 at the beginning of the NBA season. And then they got to a Western Conference Finals where, of course, they're completely outclassed by a way better team. Probably the best player on planet Earth right now, Nikola Jokic, and probably the best coach or the second best coach in the NBA, Mike Malone, and shout out to Jamal Murray too, 50, 40, and 90, and then averaging 30-plus points. So they run into a juggernaut in the Denver Nuggets, but I would definitely look at moving Anthony Davis from the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay, I mean, we should probably transition to the Eastern Conference. We're running out of time, but speaking of coaches, there's 5 teams in the NBA looking for a coach. That could probably change to 6 if the Celtics and Missoula get swept tonight against the Heat, which I think I'm expecting to happen. Early on, I did a show earlier today, and I'm like, I can't believe that the Celtics are actually going to lay down, but they already did, as we saw in Game 3. The Toronto Raptors apparently are looking at Steve Nash as a potential guy to come in and take that role. Who's going to be their coach? Who should they be looking at?
Well, it's weird. Like the Raptors are going far and wide to every corner. They're going to Europe to see, coaches. They're trying to bring Steve Nash, JJ Redick, Adrian Griffin. There's no stone has been unturned for the Toronto Raptors. And quite frankly, I don't know where they're going to go, right? Like there's been obvious, places and fits that have been there, but they haven't gone there. Becky Hammond turned the opportunity down. Ime Udoka turned it down. We'll see who else is out there. But apparently, according to reports that I'm reading, Steve Nash impressed the Raptors. So, look, I kind of wouldn't mind Steve Nash coaching Canada's team, right? He had a difficult situation in Brooklyn, but we know, he spent time in the Golden State system when, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, he didn't do that bad of a job. I think the Brooklyn thing was more so on the players and the whole vaccine mandate with Kyrie. I would not mind Steve Nash being the head coach of the Toronto Raptors.
I think Nash was in Brooklyn at the wrong time. No, Justin?
I think so, yeah. It was a very weird time. Again, he was brought in, no experience. Kyrie Irving made comments about they don't need a head coach. Him and Kevin Durant will run the franchise. The whole James Harden trade, then Kyrie missing half the time. Steve Nash is one of the most brilliant basketball minds we've ever seen, right? Like he's one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. He can play. He comes with that up-tempo style of play that he played in Phoenix under Mike D'Antoni, right? Masai Ujiri has been very vocal how they want to play beautiful basketball. Well, Steve Nash, if you watch him play, played basketball beautifully, right? He was one of the greatest floor generals ever. I would not, and it looks great PR-wise too, right? And we all know MLSE right now could use a lot of positive PR with what's going on between the Leafs, the Raptors, TFC, and all that.
Well, listen, and his brother's coaching at York United as well, right? There's a Nash connection there, right? And listen, I'm a huge Steve Nash guy. I've met him a number of times about soccer, actually. He's a Spurs fan, which would definitely, allow you to embrace him.
Over to the Raptors, please.
From a media PR standpoint, brilliant, right?
Yeah,
like I said, Brooklyn was a weird situation, but I don't know. It's not much experience as coach.
No, but we'll see what happens. Justin, thanks for doing this on your off day. Now you can go back to watching Netflix and eating toaster strudel. At least that's what you're doing, right?
I'm bringing the heat tomorrow, boys. Don't worry about it.